Hey y'all, it's March the 21st, 2017, and I thought I would start this video off by letting y'all know, sharing a little something with y'all. I ain't never liked Sesame Street. Always throughout the entirety of my life have I felt very off-put by Sesame Street. I was never ever entertained by it, even as a small child, ever. And as I grew older, the distaste just grew with me. Right? The older I grow, the more and more I simply just can't stand that kind of entertainment in Sesame Street. But I just wanted to put that out there. That's a side note. The bulk of this video is concerning a brand new character. I guess Sesame Street is still going. There's a new character on the Sesame Street by the name of Julia. What's special about Julia is that, yes, you guessed right, she's autistic. She's an autistic Muppet. This is all for autistic acceptance. Alright, so Sesame Street, they got a new character named Julia. Everyone should accept her and love on her. First of all, loving people is real good. Acceptance is actually dangerous. It could be a slippery slope, but we'll get into that now. I've already discussed in previous videos the absurdities surrounding autism acceptance when you consider these marches and these little charities that they got for scientific research. Alright, I've already discussed that in previous videos, but I just want to go ahead and reiterate, autism acceptance could be quite dangerous, if not dangerous, just impractical and absolutely wasteful. I guess I want to explain it by saying this. There's a lot of different people you'll find on the autistic spectrum, a lot of different personalities. Right? Some of them you can't even hardly communicate with because they're so incapacitated for whatever reason that you can barely communicate with them at all. Right? They live very difficult lives. There are some autistic people out there who you can communicate. Maybe you can communicate with them a little bit. Alright? I think autism awareness is pretty important in that you can find a child with autism, a small child, and encourage them to do things, to do what they want to do what they're interested in. Right? And what you're going to find about these autistic little children is that they have an intensity for certain things. They can do certain things for hours and hours and hours and hours, and it's inexplicable. Just do it. Why? Because they feel the drive to do it coming from inside of them, to do something that maybe wouldn't make much sense to you. Right? They have an intense fervor for these kind of things, and it's all individual. I mean, these are all individual people, so their interests are going to be different. Their attentions are going to be on different things. Right, as far as autism awareness, I think we would all be well suited to find out, okay, let's forget about lowering autism or raising autism anymore, because the thing is, autism is skyrocketing. That's just statistics. All right, so let's forget about all that. Let's just say, okay, we have autism. Autism's on our hands. Why don't we be aware of it? All right, why don't we take these autistic children and why don't we encourage them to do the things that they're good at, that lots of times they're way better than most people at? Right? There's certain jobs and careers out there that are doing exactly that. And I applaud those people, man. Those people are on the cutting edge to find autistic people and implement them in such a way that these autistic people do better jobs than their counterparts who are not autistic. And when you think about certain fields such as the world of hacking, computer hacking, most of that, guess what? That's autism right there. That's people doing things for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours that you wouldn't dream of doing. All right, because it took a hold of them. They found what was important. They were able to lock onto that, and they were able to do things that you probably couldn't imagine before. All right, that is autism awareness. There's another thing called autism acceptance, which is exactly what Julia is here to do. All right, it's where you accept it and say, you know what? Okay, that child's autistic. Good for them. I accept them, and that's the end of the story. Let's move on. All right, they're going to do whatever they want to do, whatever. We'll feed them and clothe them and put shelter over them. Forget it, whatever. They're just going to wander around, bumping into walls and stuff. All right, so long as we accept them, everything's going to be all right. But no, not everything's going to be all right. That is the problem with these autistic children. They're coming out of the woodwork. They're coming from every which angle. And if we just placate them, if we just put them in a corner, if we just give them a little video device or whatever and say, go to town, little autistic child, just do whatever you want to, stay out of my way. All right, if we continue to treat them like children their entire lives, to accept them and just be concentrating on silly little games. If that's what we're going to do with autistic children, we can accept them all we want. It's not going to go nowhere. It's not going to benefit anybody, to include autistic children. No, what we need to do is accept that they are autistic, find out what they're good at. Go ahead and utilize that. It is a resource. We could be using it. We could be harnessing that energy as a society instead of playing patty cake with ourselves all day. Trying to feel good about ourselves. Oh, little autistic Joey down the street. Oh, ain't he cute? Ain't he adorable? Meanwhile, when he's 30, 40 years old, he ain't going to be so cute no more, is he? You're not going to pay attention to him the same way, are you? No, there ain't going to be much acceptance at that point, is there? No, little Joey's just going to have to hang out by himself, wander around, aimlessly, because nobody, I repeat, nobody cared to find out what little Joey was good at, to find out what interests little Joey, to find out how to implement him into society in a positive way, because we have autism coming out of our ears at this point. All right, but meanwhile, I've seen many parents, God bless them, many parents just going through the motions with their autistic children. I've seen many of them. And it ain't gonna get you nowhere and stuff. You should rethink that whole plan. It's March the 21st. 2017. I'll holler at y'all. Sesame Street. I can't believe that's still on. What kind of retards are watching that? I'll holler at y'all.